What's up, guys? We're back with an all new episode of Step Into Our Phone Booth. I am your host, Tyler. Here with me is Tanner and Jordan. Today, we are going to be discussing GOATs, more specifically, sports and the greatest of all time, not the furry farm animals that you guys were thinking of. To start, what sport do you guys want to start with? I can't decide here.
I say we just go with baseball because I have like that much knowledge about baseball.
Same. Baseball, then hockey.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well,
All right.
so the order will go baseball, hockey, NBA, and then we'll leave NFL at the end, as that is probably the sport that all of us know the most about. So I guess I'll start, since I probably know the most about baseball out of this group here. My GOAT would have to be probably Nolan Ryan. There's no particular reason why. One, I picked a pitcher mainly because they have the ability to control the game. They're kind of like the quarterback of football. But he has the record for most strikeouts over a career. He played 27 major league seasons. Hall of Famer, has the record for most no hitters. So that's kind of my pick for baseball.
Mine's Jason Giambi, just because he's the only guy that I know, and he was on my team, so saw him in a video game once. So that's my guy.
There you go.
There you go.
Did he play center? Is that what he played? I don't even know what he played.
First base. You were
First
close.
base, okay, I was close. Yeah.
His brother played outfield. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's mine.
Give me arguably the greatest of all time, Barry Bonds. I mean, this game is about runs. Scoring runs is the name of the game, and who better does that than the home run champion? Undisputed home run champion, Barry Bonds.
Hall of Famer or no?
Absolutely, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know why we're sitting on this. I don't know what's taken so long to get this man into the Hall of Fame. Again, this game is about scoring runs. He scored a lot of runs as an individual and as a team player. I think that needs to be rewarded. You need to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if they get gold jackets. I know the NFL gets gold jackets. I don't know what the baseball players get, but like, he needs whatever they got.
You got a good pat on the back saying you did it, son.
Should probably look into that.
When he played, there has never been, nor I think there will be, a hitter that was as feared as Barry Bonds.
Exactly.
There's a bunch of times where he would come up bases loaded, the opposing team having a 3 or 2 run lead, and the opposing team would intentionally walk in a run just so they didn't have to face him.
Really?
I would agree. Yes. There's been a bunch of clips, bunch of games like that where teams just would not want to face him. I think he has more intentional walks in a season than the next person does in a career in that same category. So that's a good one.
Not to deviate the conversation on the direction of the show. Have any of you seen the I think it was a TikTok video I saw. Someone put out an idea for baseball in that teams should have the ability to change their lineup throughout a game, because it's not their take was, and I forget who it was, but their take was that like it's not fair in baseball that like you only bat every like you have your order, and so like you got to go
9 guys. Yep.
Yeah, but whereas like in football or basketball, the best players end up with a chance to win the game, whereas like Mike Trout, he's got to wait for his shot that he may not get to do something. And so their theory was like, you should be able to pick and choose when you want to do this.
I don't know if Jordan saw that. I did see that, and I think it's a great idea. I don't know the logistics of it, but shout out to that guy. I don't mean to be taking up too much time on baseball. We still got 3 other sports, but I do think baseball needs a kind of a pick me up of sorts. They need to change something up, and I think they're trying to do that now with the recent rule changes, increase to the base size, the pitch clock. I don't think that these are the right steps, but I do think that they're steps into showing that they are willing to at least try and change up something. So
Do you think
We
if
can-
do you think if it happened though, do you think people would favor it or not favor it?
I mean,
I think fans would favor it.
I mean, I think the example, if I'm thinking of the same video, Tanner, the example that they gave was bases loaded. You would put Mike Trout up there, the best hitter in baseball right now, and if he strikes out, you'll put him in there again. Yes,
You're going to give him
and I think that
three
think
at bats there.
Yeah, and I think that in terms of fans, I think fans would love to see that. I mean, if just the whole aspect of if he's the Angels' best hitter in this situation, any other sport, you're able to give him the ball and let him do his thing. In baseball, you're limited by where you come up in the lineup. And I think that fans would really enjoy seeing that specific example of Mike Trout coming up all 3 times, trying to either hit a home run, get a base hit, drive in those key runs. So I think that fans would enjoy that aspect of it.
Do you think there's like a fairness to that though?
I think you would have to balance that. Like somehow the opposing team, the pitching team, would need to be able to counter a little bit. I mean, if we're thinking like NBA, you're going to put your best offensive guy. You're going to try and find a matchup that puts them on their weakest, quote unquote, defensive player to get the matchup that you want.
Sure.
Whereas in baseball, like you don't really have that ability. So I don't know if it's like, hey, we're going to sub guys, but I mean, you're not just going to put a cold pitcher in there to put a cold pitcher in there. So I don't know what that balance would be.
I think when doing this, you are probably gonna have to set up some sort of rule where if you choose to go with Mike Trout again, the opposing team has the option to get a different pitcher in there. But I guess the logistics. I mean, facing a new pitcher, you got to think if you have a righty on righty matchup and you bring in another righty, a different pitcher who maybe throws slower speeds than the previous one, you're able to mix up the hitter's timing.
Right, but I guess like from I mean, I haven't played competitive baseball, so I don't know. But like as being that second pitcher, so to speak, like are you ready for that? I mean, obviously, like you'd have a whole game to kind of figure out, like, hey, this moment could come, like we're getting close. Like, do you want to come in just cold?
You'd have to set up something where like they get unlimited time to warm up.
See, but then I think that goes the opposite direction. Because now what? You got you peaked, and now we got like a 10-minute waiting period.
Correct, but at the same time, right? If Mike Trout comes up with 0 outs in this situation, you strike him out. How is that any different than, say, getting a different reliever warming up in current baseball rules to face a different hitter? Like you get him warmed up, and then if they put Mike Trout up again, then you just swap pitchers, right? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Right, but
like,
I think you do that now. Right, but in the current format, like that guy is already getting warm. Like they know,
correct.
Hey, we got to get this guy warmed.
That's what I'm saying is that, yeah, coaches would have to definitely think more about, okay, in this situation, if he comes up again, you know, what's kind of our rotation of our bullpen in this situation. But you got to think about that anyways. The rule that would need to change is that a relief pitcher, if they come in, has to either finish an inning or face three batters minimum. In that case, you're only facing one batter, and if you want to defend or kind of defend Mike Trout coming up again by bringing a different pitcher, you're gonna have to change something.
So it'd be
Like
kind
like
of
I
a
said,
bold-
there's a. Go
It'd
ahead.
be a bold move for a coach because if you're saying you're in the big game and you got to switch out your pitcher, rather have someone that's already been in it this whole time, or just someone that's going to take one bat.
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely gonna. I mean, obviously, it's something that probably no one has ever. It's a rule that no one's ever thought of doing, so it's kind of hard to say all these what if situations. I mean, that's part of making a rule, right? Is that there's people smarter than us in the game that talk about how this rule would impact, and I think it's just something that if they choose to go through it, then they would have to kind of vet some of these situations. So
Yeah. Well, I think that's something we definitely come back to. I think Dexter
Oh,
might
yeah.
have some interesting opinions on this.
yeah,
It's more of the
he's
the
he's a
resident
baseball
baseball.
guy, yeah.
So we'll put a pin in that one again and come back to that in a few weeks. But let's move along here. What do we got next? NHL, Tyler?
yeah, yep, NHL. I guess again we'll just keep the same order. I have Wayne Gretzky. I feel like that's kind of a unanimous pick. Obviously, he has the most career goals, assists, points, hat tricks, along with 57 other NHL records that he owns. So it's unanimous, I think. But I guess what's your guys' opinion?
I want to hear Tanner first because I'm the one who knows most hockey here. So
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, a quick Google search before this, Wayne Gretzky popped up. I almost thought about going Bobby Orr just because like that sounds like a sick name. Apparently he played for the Boston Bruins. So like that's cool. I know of Sidney Crosby, but you just hear a lot about Wayne the Magician Gretzky. Good old Canadian hockey player, and you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you're getting quoted left and right, you must have done something right in your time in the league. So we'll back Mr. Wayne Gretzky.
That's fair.
I hate Crosby, but I wish one of you would have said Crosby.
Oh,
Oh fuck!
who's
Well,
yours, Jordan?
Mine's Pavel Datsyuk.
Oh,
I don't know if
God.
you know who that is. Do you guys even
Well,
know who that is?
he's not in the top 9 on Google. What was their name again?
His name is Pavel Datsyuk. He's number 13. He played for the Red Wings.
That's
Red Wings. Oh,
He was
I want to hear.
Pavel Adolfumubus Yakenberg,
he was literally the Barry Sanders of hockey.
the Magic Man.
He was crazy.
We'll have to look up some highlights from him.
Two-way
Just-
player with highlight reel moves, won the Stanley Cup twice, the Selke Trophy 3 times with the Red Wings.
Tanner, you know the NHL we played? You know the Pavel Datsyuk where you pull it back and flip it up?
Nope.
That's his move. It's literally his move.
Yeah, I
They
don't
literally put
know
it in
any
the
moves
game.
on that game, but good for him.
Okay.
If you can be put into a video game, you've done something right.
He's
And with a name like
yeah.
Pavel Datsyuk,
yeah, I think he's
I
from
mean-
Russia. He's from
he
Russia.
was
I
Russian.
think.
I
Yep.
mean, an old classmate of ours was in MLB The Show, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't actually made it to the show yet. So I don't
Wow.
think it's that hard to make it into a video game. Shout out Gage. What up,
Yeah.
Gage?
Okay, well, if baseball didn't say, "Hey, let's have 1,000 people across 4 different leagues,"
That's fair.
Okay,
Like-
it said since you both said Wayne Gretzky, I need something else. You guys, who's your second favorite best player? One of you.
Gordie Howe,
Gordie Howe. Okay, I'll take that.
creator of the Gordie Howe hat trick, boys.
give me Jonathan Quick. Give me a
I like
beefy
that.
boy between the pipes.
You
I
know
like that,
damn well that was the second search that came up on Tanner's Google search. So
It wasn't LA
hold-
Kings.
Okay,
Stanley
yeah,
Cup
Oh,
he's
champion
older.
yeah.
goalie.
Sure. Okay.
What?
He played for America's
No,
team. too.
No. All right.
Jimmy-
Jimmy
Zach
Howard's
Wilson?
my favorite.
I
No.
respect it. Tanner went out out on a limb. I like it. Tanner
Playing
did some
goalie
research.
in this stupid hockey game has taught me it's not an easy job, man.
No.
God.
So
So Jonathan Quick,
That's
shouts
funny.
out to him.
I like that. He still plays and he's like 35. So he's
Does he? I wasn't sure.
yeah, he still plays.
Ah, baby Jonathan, keep it going,
Oh boy.
Jonathan.
All right,
Quick.
what are we on to now? NBA?
NBA. Yeah. I guess
Oh, he's still with the Kings.
Yeah, he's starting
My,
goalie for them still.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
my GOAT pick for NBA. I mean, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but
Don't fucking say LeBron.
LeBron James. It's got to be LeBron James. He just passed Kareem on the all-time regular season scoring. First overall, 4-time NBA champion, 4-time Finals MVP, 4-time League MVP. And I think the thing that he has over Jordan is that he is playing in the era of NBA that is arguably the most talented. It has the most talented pool of players that we've seen so far, and it's just going to get better. People are coming into the league younger and younger, so you're going to see their careers lasting way longer. I mean, Devin Booker, he's been in the league for 7 years now, and he feels like a veteran, but he's our age. And so I just feel like kids are coming into the league, are getting more athletic, younger and younger. So
I think NBA players these days are bigger pussies than they were back then too. Just gonna put that out there
hey,
too.
the league has made them soft. I'll say that.
The NBA is like
way,
it's just like soccer. You barely get a hole, and they're like rolling on the ground like they just got shot. Like, gosh dang, man! Like,
Yeah.
grow up.
you see some of the hits that in the 80s and 90s, some of those fouls, and guys popped right up afterwards and shot free throws, and now they do that and they're laying on the ground like they broke their back or something. So
Yeah.
but no, stats wise, LeBron's top 10 in almost every stat. It seems like he's played for, I believe this is his 20th year. So, and he's still got, I think, 3 or 4 more high production years left. So he's definitely going to get up to 40,000 points easy.
Probably, yeah.
What's your guys' NBA pick?
Go for it, Tanner.
I'm gonna go. I don't mind the LeBron pick whatsoever. I think he's definitely done a lot for the league. As the game itself has changed over the last 3 decades, he has evolved with that. I think he deserves, everything that's come his way. I think JJ Redick has pointed that out recently in one of his recent episodes of Old Man and the Three, that the bar keeps moving essentially for LeBron, even though he keeps surpassing greatest scoring record of all time and numerous other records. So I think it's a fair pick. I'm, however, sticking with Jordan. I don't think you can discredit what he did for the league during his time, and essentially winning 6 championships in a row, minus the 2-year hiatus for whatever reason. In between that, I don't think you can discredit that as a knock against what he did for the league. Obviously, very, very different times, like we just mentioned, between his era of 80s and 90s basketball compared to what the game has shifted to now. I think there's still a place to recognize what players have done before this day and age. So I'm just sticking with it. But I mean, I think overall, you look at it's a 1A, 1B between these two specifically. You can have a handful of other players in there as well that could be up and coming, but I don't think this is ever going to be a debate that's
It's
clear cut,
it's-
like a Wayne
no, it's never
Gretzky
going to be
compared to
settled. It's
Jonathan
never going
Quick.
to be settled. Yep. No, and those two are very comparable. But I think that the thing that I heard recently about what made Jordan so great was that he was leaps and bounds better than the next, like the second best player in the NBA during his time. Like there was
Mhm.
he was here, everyone else was tiers below him. So, and I think you see a smaller gap, especially with LeBron and then even the next closest person nowadays. So there is definitely, and like you mentioned previously, Tanner, this GOAT debate, I mean, everyone can debate whichever way they want. It's never going to be a definitive answer, like you said, like hockey and Gretzky. Although some may argue that that's not even.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing with LeBron though is that you gotta remember. I mean, he's been in the league 20 years now. I mean, coming in 03, he's had the longevity of a career. He's still a top player in the league, but I think they're like comparing where he's at compared to Joker, Luca, those other guys, Giannis, for the current year. I don't think there is that leaps and bounds. His overall
No.
career, yes, absolutely. But like when you start looking at individual years, I think you gotta, there is some fluid movement there as you're going through.
It
But
brings it back to
overall,
perspective. Yep.
100%. That I mean, guys, back in the 80s and 90s for those eras, Jordan was 100% leaps and bounds over some of those guys. Whereas, I mean, LeBron, if you go back 10 years, I don't know who 2013 was that?
Well,
Those the Miami years.
There's always been the debate between him and KD as swapping, going back and forth with the best player in the league, at any given year. So through LeBron's whole career, he's had to kind of fight with KD as being that best player, and then all of a sudden the emergence of Curry and his 3-point shooting, and then you had Giannis, just his overwhelming ability to attack the rim. And that's what made LeBron so great, I feel like, for so long, was his ability to attack the rim, his strength, his quickness. And then as you get older, you learn to adapt and play more team ball, get assists, settle on jump shots. And that's where you kind of get that finessing. So no, I mean his ability to adapt to the way he can play the game, as well as where the game is going, I think that says a lot too. But I understand the Jordan GOAT talk. I mean, Jordan was just an overwhelming force, led the league in scoring, I think eight or nine times. eight or nine times. Just an overwhelming force in overall. So
Well, you might know where I'm going with this one. I'm saying Kobe.
ooh, I like it.
Like Dexter said, me, Logan, and him are more of the passion guys.
Yep.
And just the stories I've heard of him, like before games he would practice, after games he would practice. Like he wanted to be the best, and I believe he was. Like I feel like if he was still alive today, he'd still be fucking just going off. I think he's better than Kobe. I don't know about the Jordan part of it, but whatever.
No,
LeBron, I don't know.
The one thing about Kobe is that he would never let someone else outwork him.
No.
Like there's that story with I think it was
I saw
Jay Williams. He was talking about how he would show up 3 hours before a game, and Kobe would already be in there finishing his shoot around, going to lift prior to a game, and then after a game he'd stay after for another 2 hours. Kobe would be in there for 3, and at one point he asked him, like, why, like, how do you do this? Why do you do this? And Kobe said, He's like, because I knew that you were gonna do it, and I didn't want you to think that you were better than me. I mean, that's it. That's all you needed to. That's all you need to hear to like understand Kobe's mindset. Like there was no one in the NBA like Kobe and the way that he studied the game and his work ethic. So if any kids nowadays want to look up to someone, it'd definitely be Kobe. So
See, like when it comes to like LeBron, he's like Tom Brady to me. He's like, just retire, please.
I mean, that's also fair.
Like, thank God Tom Brady finally, finally
you're
left.
gonna
Yeah.
hate. You're gonna hate my NFL pick, man.
You gonna say Tom Brady?
Ugh.
All right, might
guess,
as well
the
jump in
Cats-
NFL then.
Yeah,
Jeez.
cats out of the bag there. My pick, NFL, Tom Brady. I mean, the guy played the most important, arguably the most important position on a football field. Obviously holds a ton of records for the quarterback, most touchdowns, most passing yards, I'm sure most completions. He
You should
also
play last year. Ooh. Or this year, sorry. Or last year, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, and he also has more Super Bowl wins than any other NFL team. So, I mean, one, to have more Super Bowl wins than any other team as an individual player says something about your ability to win games. I mean, granted, the teams that he was on were really good teams, but his drive to just always go out there and compete, I think, says something. So
Yeah, I guess. Tanner?
I'm 100% gonna take some flack for this, and I really wish Dexter was here for it. Give me Adam Vinatieri,
Carson Wentz,
leading point scorer in NFL history, 599 career field goals. I don't know how many game-winning field goals. I'm a special teams guy. I don't know what you want me to say. Give me a kicker, give me a punter. I mean, that is win games right there.
Underrated. That's for sure. People forget his what was it, 2004, 3, something like that, early 2000 Super Bowl, clutched up the field goal to win it. I think that was Tom Brady's first Super Bowl win. So
yeah, so
That's crazy.
No,
I didn't think you were gonna.
give me Adam
Didn't think you were gonna
Vinatieri.
go with the kicker. That's crazy.
Let me
I
a
mean,
kicker.
it's a bold
I guess-
strategy, Cotton.
Well, see, mine's not even a quarterback. Mine's Troy Polamalu.
Ooh,
Okay.
I don't know.
I like it.
He's a beast. I was gonna say Ed Reed, but I think Troy Polamalu just.
That's fine. I thought Tanner was gonna say Ed Reed when he first said it was someone that you're not expecting. I'm like, Ed Reed? Who? Oh, no, I mean Troy Polamalu definitely has a lot of highlights. His signature move of kind of timing the snap to jump over the center. That's the guy was underrated. So
For me, just the shit he did was just unhuman. Like some of it was just like, what the hell? Like, have you ever seen that catch where he barely intercepts? Like it barely touches the ground, or it goes right off his fingertips.
Yep.
That's he was just.
Well,
he
and
was
to
an
me
animal.
too. To me too. I don't know the guy. He seems like a nice guy off the field though. Like a good stand up like gentleman too.
Yeah, genuine person.
I know Tom Brady sometimes gets flack for maybe being too cocky or kind of a prick sometimes, but I mean Troy Polamalu, from what I've heard, he's a real stand up, genuine guy. So same thing with Kobe. I mean Kobe would go out of his way to talk to people, especially after retirement. So,
Yeah, they keep themselves humble.
yep.
Another thing, Troy Polamalu, we got to talk about his hair. Like, come on, it's like the best hair you ever
He
seen in
probably had the
football.
best hair. Yeah. He probably had the best hair.
I forget. He was a monster. That's for sure.
I guess we kind of segue into a lot of what a lot of these people had in common. Kind of rewards for season accolades and what they're measured against. Kind of what if a little bit of the rewards, specifically the MVP awards, are biased towards certain positions.
Yeah,
specifically in the NFL.
So
I
stupid.
guess to start, I think an easy segue into this. How would you guys define the MVP?
Ooh,
I feel like
that's
it's
a good one.
whoever, like, I guess, are we talking about just MVP for Super Bowl?
No, I'm
season,
talking
or-
just the MVP award in general in sports.
I feel like it's whoever plays the best.
Okay, so regardless of how well their team does,
Shit.
like
I had to think about
that's
that.
the point. That's the point I'm getting at, right? Like, is it truly the most valuable player, or is it the most valuable player on the best team?
Well,
Because
I mean,
go
if
ahead.
you look at the NFL, so just recency bias, obviously, with the NFL awards taking
Mhm.
place last night, Patrick Mahomes wins regular season MVP.
Yes.
Justin Jefferson wins AP Offensive Player of the Year. However, the Vikings didn't make NFC Championship, didn't make the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
but you have Jalen Hurts, who was in contention for MVP. Are you, based off your logic, Tyler, that means Jalen Hurts probably should have won AP Offensive Player of the Year. Why didn't Patrick Mahomes win Offensive Player of the Year?
And I think
fair
what they
point.
try and do with that is I don't know the exact voting rules, but I feel like players that was Justin Jefferson on the MVP ballot?
If he
Did he
was,
get like
I
any
don't.
votes? I saw something. I saw like the list of MVP vote getters, but I couldn't remember if he was on there or not. But I think what the NFL tries to do is that if you're up for MVP, you can't be up for any other reward type of thing.
Or we could
Because
just
that
go
would
your
kinda-
angle. We can go your angle and just say it's scripted.
So
I'm waiting for that to come out, but go ahead. Taylor.
okay. So results for MVP: Mahomes first, Jalen Hurts second, Josh Allen third, Joe Burrow fourth, Justin Jefferson fifth.
Okay.
You look at AP Offensive Player of the Year results: Jefferson number 1, Mahomes 2, Hurts 3, Tyreek Hill 4th.
Okay. I guess
I guess I don't.
I mean that's the point of the discussion, right? Like my view is the MVP award should go to the best player who had the best season. With that being said, I don't think that positions are weighted the same.
I know
Like
they're not weighted.
A quarterback has a lot of impact on the game, but again, it comes back to like the whole team sport of without a certain position, that quarterback, is he going to have the same success that he did? He could, or he couldn't, right? So, but it's easy to say. I feel like if you don't, there's not a team in the NFL that did not have a good quarterback and was successful. Like
I feel like when it comes to
the
awards,
only
it's already someone who already made a big name for themselves somehow. So I feel like
for sure,
they
for
have a
sure.
better chance of winning it than anybody else that actually maybe is not as big as say Mahomes or something, but still did
But
really good.
to be to that extent, Mahomes won MVP not his technically his rookie year, but his first year, his first full year in the league. Granted, he was taken what 10th overall, I think, or no, he was taken lower than that, wasn't he?
Mm,
I can't remember when he was taken, but he was a first round pick, so people knew of him, but no one saw that. I don't think anyone would have seen what he became now when he was drafted. And granted, I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into a player's success.
well, wasn't his dad a really big baseball player?
He was, yeah, that's true. So he was in the spotlight, yeah. But I don't know. It's tough, right? I mean, you look at even in other sports, in say in baseball in 2017, when Jose Altuve won AL MVP and stole it from Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge
We got
had
some
better
Yankee vibes
numbers.
coming in.
Aaron Judge had better numbers in a lot of categories. Obviously, Altuve had better numbers in others. But I feel like what played a factor into that voting was the fact that the Astros won that year. So in a sense, it comes on as what a player did in a season, but also how did their team do? And I think that's one of the reasons why Christian McCaffrey never won MVP with the Panthers, is because he was getting his stats, but the team as a whole was never that successful.
So do you think it should be player based or team based?
I mean,
I feel like it should be
player,
I feel like it should
since
be
it's
team.
a player, since it's a player award, it should be technically what any given player does during the season.
How would you do a team based, Jordan?
I guess just who. I guess I'd just see who would like make like I guess like for this year, I guess it'd be either the Chiefs or the Eagles going on who's the best player, who's done the most.
Hmm.
Or maybe who won their conference or just little stuff like that, I guess.
I mean, what you could do if you do team based is like set up a thing of like a list of top 5 per position, and whichever team has the most top 5 players on their list per position. I mean, that obviously would be like the best player or best team regardless of, but that's all biased then too, unless you're looking at purely stats.
I think that's why you move to the college format and just have position awards.
See,
Forget
that would be cool. Yeah.
an overall MVP, because how are you comparing like that? Well, this is the list. You had 4 quarterbacks for MVP, and then Justin Jefferson is the lone wide receiver.
The top 4 vote getters were quarterbacks, and then.
So how do you compare Justin Jefferson's, 1,800 receiving yards with 613 yards after catch to Mahomes' 5,000 passing yards?
I mean, you can't. So.
Yeah. So I think
I can see with the position thing. I like that a lot better than just having one big thing for one person. Because you can't say, someone could add sack leader, like say Aaron Donald. He had for the season, whatever had a sack goal and got it. And Mahomes, you can't compare the two positions. They're totally fucking different. And they play on different sides of the ball too. So
but to that point, if we start giving it to every position, are we getting to the point where it's like T-ball where it's more just participation medals then.
I don't
No,
think
'cause
so.
you're-
I feel like the reason why the MVP award is so coveted is because it's
Is it
only
coveted?
one.
Yeah,
I
is it?
mean,
It's
I
how many times
I
is
would
it a
imagine
quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I would imagine the Patrick Mahomes is going to get some sort of bonus because he won MVP. I'm sure that's in his contract. You know. So I mean, the fact that, and again, it's all position bias, right? Same thing that we talked about previously, where the quarterback is like the biggest name on the field at any given time, most pressure on them. So, because
Okay.
like I was telling Tanner, quarterback has a bunch of wide receivers to throw to, and he's got to make the decision on which receivers to throw to. One wide receiver can only receive a pass from one quarterback. So it's kind of like is that working against my logic?
A little bit, yeah.
I think a little bit it was, yeah. No, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, because if it went
I don't
positional,
know.
then
I don't.
whoever's best
So-
at their position gets to, go against each other, see who's best at their position. Because you
So
can't.
are you
compare-
saying eliminate the MVP award altogether and just go essentially have a best per position award that is kind of like
Yeah.
an MVP award for all 22 positions?
Yeah,
Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
I mean, I don't know if it would
guess
be all.
24 positions because you got kicker and punter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
special teams is people too. Okay, what Tanner
Yeah.
said.
That's fair.
Come on.
But then, okay,
So-
but then to that extent, do you give it like to long snappers too? I mean, how deep in the weeds do you want to go with this? Are you talking about
Well-
just the players that play, or the positions that are on the field all the time, or
I think
any
you just
position
go.
there ever is? Because you could talk about slot cornerbacks, you could talk about nickel linebackers that come in that technically aren't playing, but that's a certain, right, they're not always on the field, but it's a specific position.
I mean, there'd be some kinks to work out, but I think you
Yeah.
go. Obviously, offense is easier. Like, you're gonna have a quarterback, running back. Leave it at receiver. Like, yeah, you're gonna have anywhere
Okay,
from
so
3 to
just
4.
one receiver.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you're running
Is
4
that
wide
kinda what the-
receivers, like,
Isn't that kind of what the all pro like team is for then at that point?
yeah, but I don't know how
I
the
mean, I
voting
guess
works on
that's
all pro.
that's not necessarily like you don't get a plaque for it. You might get a plaque for being voted all pro.
I think you
Um,
see more
you know
all
what I mean?
pro
Like-
written into contracts. I think that's where, like, you'll see that in different contracts, not necessarily MVP.
Okay.
I don't think, but I think you get,
Okay.
like, depending on how the voting works. I know there's a big debate in the
Yeah.
NBA on all pro. Because I
Yeah,
know Jason Tatum didn't get all pro, but like he should have been, because
yeah.
media didn't vote him, and it was like, how do you not vote this guy all pro? So I think you leave it at that, where like you still have your all pro first, second, and third. I don't know if the NFL goes that deep or not. But-
Sure.
You have that. So I think you leave it as your base, so to speak, positions, as we're giving out these awards. So yeah, 22, 24 positions. That way there is a little bit more comparison of apples to apples of,
Sure.
hey, we're comparing receivers exclusively on what they did. And like, yeah, if you're a slot guy, it's going to be tough. Like that's just the name of the game. But
Yeah,
at least
be better and become an outside threat.
exactly.
Cold,
So I think you
Cole
can see
Beasley.
that. But I mean, I pulled up the list of MVP winners. You have to go back to 2012 for a running back.
Adrian Peterson.
Yep. Before that, you have to go to 2006 for LaDainian Tomlinson. 2005, Sean Alexander.
Was that his year though, where he had like the most all-purpose touchdowns though?
Who?
2006.
Well, Damian Thomason, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, didn't he have like
Maybe.
22 all-purpose touchdowns or something like
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, it was quite a bit.
Or no, more. I think he had more because that was just rushing. He had like 35, I think.
Yeah, with catching too.
Yeah, I think he had like 21, 22 rushing. And then on top of
Yeah.
that, he had like 10 or 12 receiving, and then I think 1 passing. So
I think he still holds that
Uh,
record too.
yeah.
28 rushing touchdowns, 6 receiving
Oh.
touchdowns.
Jesus.
That's all together though, 28, right?
That's just rushing.
I think 28 is just rushing, if I'm
Holy
reading this correctly, because it has it broken down, rushing and then receiving.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Oh my God.
Damn. Yeah, no one's ever beaten
Uh,
that shit.
You're
Oh,
lucky if
rushing and receiving. He had 31 combined.
you're,
31
you're-
combined touchdowns in
lucky
2006.
You have a decent quarterback if your quarterback throws for 30 touchdowns, let alone rushing.
Well, you know it's never going to happen again because these days it's
No.
all about pass. Running backs are
It's
not big.
never. Not unless you get like Derrick Henry out there where they put him in at the 1 yard line and let that big guy just run it in.
Yeah,
Quick
you
trivia
just, like, walk
question.
it in.
Can you name the most recent defensive player to win NFL MVP?
Most recent,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say Aaron Donald.
No,
I don't think
No.
he hasn't won.
not MVP.
You know what? Let's make this
That's
a
Crosby.
fun little game. We have 20. We could ask you 20 questions to try and figure it out.
So
Okay.
me and Tyler are on a team right now to figure it out.
Me and Jordan, we have 20 questions to figure it out. Okay.
Okay. Most
So-
recent defensive NFL MVP.
Okay, I got a
All
good
right,
question.
so-
Right off the bat,
all
this
right,
will
you
set us up. Is
let,
he NFC?
let me write
Is he-
let me write this down.
Okay.
So NFC or AFC?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Is
say.
that your
That's
first
Yeah.
Yes.
NFC?
At the time of the award.
At the time of the award, NFC.
Okay.
NFC. What the?
Was he a DB or was he a front 7 guy?
He was not a defensive back.
So he's a front. He's a big boy.
So he's a linebacker or lineman. Oh.
Shit.
Was
I
his
think you guys are-
was his-
I feel like there's a question in here that you guys are not thinking about that would kind of help narrow this down. Like I get the direction you're going, but I feel like you're
It's
I mean-
NFC.
NFC? I don't think it's not Bobby Wagner, although it's not a bad guess, but I mean it's not. I'm trying to think of NFC teams and who defensive players.
I was gonna say Max Crosby, but
No, he's
hey, we got
AFC.
20 guesses. Come on, let's start eliminating some things
Let's-
here. We can narrow this down to more.
Was the team that he played for during the season? Was it in the AFC or NFC West?
No,
Central?
don't think Central is a division or conference.
Or North, whatever, North,
East?
Midwest. I don't know. Yeah, East,
And-
I guess.
NFC East, yes.
Ooh,
does he play on the left side or the right side of the ball?
don't they flip? How is that going to help, Jordan? Don't they
Yeah,
flip?
what? Yeah, but if
They
he has
can
a
flip.
his
They
main
can flip.
position, he's gonna have it.
They can flip. Was he a linebacker or okay? So left or right?
Okay, hold on.
Right side of the ball.
According to Pro Football Reference, right side of the ball.
Okay, I was gonna say he's gotta
Well,
have.
it says right. I don't know how they interpret that. I didn't play like actual competitive football, so
Okay,
it says
so
right
we're talking
for the position.
So we're talking either Cowboys, Giants. Oh, was it Michael Strahan?
No.
Shit, that's a guess too. God damn it.
How many guesses was that 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's either Giants, Eagles, Commanders,
You've only eliminated one.
or Cowboys. No, you
Conference.
said it was in the East.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it not in the
Okay.
East?
It is in the East. I didn't know. I gave a
Oh,
response
yeah,
to
that
that
was
because you
question
and
number
Jordan were
4.
asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Cowboys, Giants, Redskins, or Eagles.
Defense, but he's a big boy.
Frick. He's a big guy too. Shh. It's not where. And you said 2000.
I didn't say a
Oh, wait.
year.
Oh, just the last.
Give us
defensive player?
give us the year.
Yeah. Hey, give us a hint here on the year. That'll narrow it down a little bit. Watch him say like 1985 before any of us were even born.
I will tell you, it was before we were born.
God
Oh
damn
my
it!
god.
Oh my
Lawrence-
gosh!
Lawrence Taylor.
would.
Ooh!
Yes.
Oh, Jordan got it! Woo!
Oh,
1986. Lawrence
I was like-
Taylor, New York Giants.
I'm like sitting here
Was
thinking,
that
who's
the
sick of the defense?
was
Lawrence
that the
Taylor,
year
baby.
that was that the year that he had like 21 sacks or something like that, like tied the record? That had to have been.
They don't have. Oh wait, 1986.
He had
20
to
and a
have
half
had, like,
sacks.
20 yeah, okay. I think at the time it was a record, I think.
Mhm.
Sacks became official 1982, maybe. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. They don't got a lot of stats for him. Like we don't even have just regular tackles. We have games, defensive interceptions, fumbles, and
He
sacks.
played back when the helmets were just a leather cap that they put on.
Or not even a helmet at all.
Yeah. Back when
Sacks,
footballs were
right.
literally pig skins.
So, good work. Very disappointed in your approach to questions and
that's a
how
pretty
we wanted
standard approach.
to get there. Not even.
I was
I
thinking
think- I
about
think-
modern player. I don't know why,
Right,
but
because because it's a freaking quarterback award. We had to go
Oh,
back to
yeah.
1986 to get to the other side of the ball.
hey, well, we got it, so it's all that matters, right? Less than 20
Barely.
questions.
Okay, I think next time we were being generous with the questions here. Let's be honest.
Dude, I hit it out
Yeah,
of
I
the
think-
park. What are you talking about? Came right to the jumps to Lawrence Taylor, best one ever. Y'all.
Best one to do it.
I should have gone with the special teams approach.
You should.
I just want to get off Zoom. I'm like, no, I'm good.
You should have.
Yeah.
You should have tricked us and been like, "What year was the last kicker to be named MVP?"
Yeah, what year?
I don't think a kicker has ever been named MVP. So
Incorrect. 1982. Mark Mosley,
God,
Washington Redskins.
Of
Probably
course, that sounds like-
1800s.
I should have said
Literally
punt-
just said
punter.
1982.
I know, but
Just a
if
punter.
you never told us, I've been like 1800s when they didn't even have stats. It's fine.
Yeah.
Football wasn't even a
In
thing.
1982, his longest on the year was a 48 yarder. He made 20 field goals, 95.2 percentage. Honestly, I don't know what they were doing back in 1982. Those numbers don't look that great. He was 20 of
Well-
21 though, so like, good for him, I guess.
Field goals or extra points.
Field goals.
20.
Ooh, this might be a better
21.
category. This breaks it down. 6 of 6 from 20 to 29 yards. 8 of 8 from 30 to 39. 5 of 6 from 49 to 40 to 49. We didn't attempt anything from 50 plus.
What was that guy's name that had like half a foot and had the longest field goal until
Oh
Tucker.
no,
Uh,
he had 6 toes.
Well, no, he had like half a foot. His
No, the-
his
the-
foot
the
was like
square
this
foot.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh really? He
Yeah,
had
what was his
square-
name?
There was a guy in the NFL that had a square foot, like half a foot.
Yeah. Yeah. He had like a
God.
63-yard field goal. That was like the biggest, longest field goal for a
I
long
didn't know
time.
that.
I forgot what his name was.
Long,
Tom
long.
Dempsey, maybe.
I don't look at his
Tom
foot.
Dempsey. Yeah, Tom Dempsey, 63-yarder. Born without toes on his right foot, but spent 11 seasons in the NFL.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
So yeah, he
nuts.
had kind of a square shoe.
Let's. You know what? That's a good transition. I've been thinking about this a lot. How do you guys feel about those records that are so specific? Like the only thing that can come to mind is like baseball and like, oh, this hitter bats 350 in games where they're playing on turf on a Tuesday when it's 60 degrees out. Like, how do you guys feel about those types of records and or accomplishments?
I feel like they're there for a reason.
Well, where they're so specific, where it's like, yeah, because he's probably the only guy that has ever done something like that, or like that kicker with half a foot. Like, oh, he holds the record for longest kicker with longest kick by a kicker with half a foot. Well,
It
yeah, he's
wasn't,
probably the
because
only
isn't-
kicker in the NFL that has ever played with half a foot.
It wasn't. He didn't get the record because he had half a foot. He just got the record because he kicked the longest field
No,
goal.
I know, but I'm saying like those types of like record statements. Like, how do you guys feel about those?
I mean, it's a record. It's made to be broken. That's
Yeah,
why
I mean, it's not taking anything away from the game. Like someone's gonna have it. Like at
Yeah.
some point,
No,
someone's gonna outdo. I mean, whether we beat.
No, I
63
understand that.
guys- Well, did Justin Tucker go for 64 or was he 62?
He hit
66.
64, or yeah,
Six.
66 against the Lions.
Yeah, to
Okay,
bounce
never
out
mind.
across.
So yeah, I mean, like,
Well, no, but
There's nothing-
I'm not saying this one in particular. I'm just saying those so outlandish records where it's like this guy has the best record with on a Tuesday night when it's raining or something like that. It's like, well, that's so specific. Like, I don't like those types of records.
I mean, you never know. Could be another Tuesday and it's rainy night. Some guy could beat the record. You never know.
I know, but it's so
I think it's
specific.
just a you thing, Tyler.
It is just
Yeah.
a me thing, and it's
I've
so
never really thought about
specific.
that. Yeah.
And it
Like,
kind of makes
I-
me mad when announcers make that shit up.
Well, they're not making it up.
No, I don't mean make it up, like come up with something so specific like that.
How often do you hear that? I mean, the only thing that comes to mind. I mean, your examples are oddly specific, so I don't really know
They
where
are.
you're getting them
That-
from.
I'm
But, like,
I'm
Kirk
making a
Cousins-
gross.
You come
Go
up,
ahead.
you Kirk Cousins in primetime games, not great. Like that is notable, which I think
Sure.
like just brings attention, for lack of a better word. But like, no one's going out there and being like, "I'm going to be worse than Kirk Cousins on primetime football
No,
games."
I'm not
Like-
saying that no one tries to be. It's my complaints more with the announcers, and that I'm talking a step further than that even. I'm talking like Kirk
You'd have to
Cousins
give me an-
is 1-5 in primetime games, but only if they start at 6:15 or something like that.
I think that's the definition of a primetime game.
Well, don't they usually start at 7:05? But you know what I mean. Like it's so specific where it's like, yeah, he's probably terrible at that because it's only happened 4 times in the whole history, and he happened to be 2 of them or something like that.
I think you are. It's a you thing, Tyler. I think you're
You're-
reading
you're
into
good
it
to-
a little too
No,
much.
it is a me thing. I'm not arguing that. I think that it's ridiculous.
I think the announcers are there to
Be in the
share
way.
information with the audience, do their job. There's going to be a time where we hope we don't have to pull those things out. But if it becomes a 3-score game in the first half, they're going to bring it up. They're going to have
Sure.
to, because
Sure.
they got to fill 2 minutes of airtime.
Sure. No,
So
it's definitely a me thing. But on a lighter note, I don't know if you guys saw this. The trainer that performed CPR on Damar Hamlin got like 1 MVP vote. Did you guys see that?
hmm
I did
That's
not see
kind of
that.
cool. That's
The thing is,
kinda cool.
thing is when it happened too, like he didn't want any of the praise about it. He was just doing his job,
Mhm.
which I thought was pretty humble for doing that kind of shit. So that
Oh
was pretty.
yeah. I mean, you're talking about saving someone's life.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like with my work, they have us do CPR training. And to be honest, I don't think any of us that do it, I don't know if we're fully aware of like if something happens where that is in call to action. I don't know if any one of us would be able to keep our head on straight in that same situation. And that guy did. So good on him for being able to, you could say, perform in the most crucial of any situation ever. You're talking about someone's life. So
And I feel like he should be the one getting paid meals instead of people throwing a fucking pigskin around and catching it. That's just me though.
I like it.
But that could be another topic for another podcast episode.
Yeah. You know what? Next week's episode.
There we go.
Well, boys, I think that could be our episode for the day.
Sounds good to me.
So I think good discussions. We'll have to definitely fill Logan and Dexter in on our opinions here, and
If they say Wayne
Yes,
Gretzky, though, I'm just leaving.
yeah. or Tom Brady.
Or Tom Brady, yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, it was good talking with you guys. We'll see you next week on Step Into Our Phone Booth. Again, I'm Tyler, Jordan, Tanner. It's good talking with you guys. We'll talk to you later.